All right, now we're good to go. There we go. We're good to go now. Technical difficulties. All right, so PRAX. This is a kind of a wild one. We got a $60 stock running to 170 in pre-market. Pretty insane move. Really sketchy biotech. It's a 20 million float stock. Why is it doing this? Pretty incredible move. Is Skrelly pumping this or what? He seems to do that nowadays. Let's see what we got here. We have study results, phase 3. So we got some good study results. For essential tremor. Let's see what this says. Mean improvement from baseline at week 8. Submitted a pre-NDA meeting request to the FDA. Positive results. Okay, so this is what it is. We got a phase 3 positive results. So interesting. $200,000 people participating in the study, interested in participating. Hopefully this is effective. Still early stages, but it's looking good. So obviously a potential dilution coming on this as usual. They've done it many times in the past. Let's take a look at this daily chart. See, this one's kind of like a hybrid stock. It's sort of mid-cap-ish. This is a $3 billion company with a 20 million float. Bizarre. That is bizarre. Very strange. Reverse split back here. 1 to 15. Interesting. And it trades like a mid-cap. So not exactly what I would want to touch for a trade. Too high price anyways. But it is very mid-cappy looking. All right, let's see. We won't touch that one. WH. What is this thing? Interesting looking stock. Another one just now popping up. What is this guy? announces collaboration with Whitehawk Therapeutic to advance biomarker-driven oncology research. Okay, that'll pump it up. Good enough to pump it. Let's take a peek at this one. And probably because PRAX is running, this is going to make some other biotechs want to run, because now we have a new sector leader. Could be driving a lot of moves. All right, let's see. What do we have? 34 million in the float. Kind of high float for a lot of these that we trade. 62% institutional ownership. It's pretty high institutional ownership. High odds of dilution. As usual, pretty much all these are. Anything recent though? What do we have? Nothing super recent. I like it. I like it. All the seed oil ones are down from yesterday, so just classic faders. Really, really nice. Super, super nice. Gotta adjust this watch list a little bit. Yep. Yeah, we'll watch PRAX. I'm not going to touch this one, but this is sort of the sector leader. So I would be interested to see how it holds up. How's it going to hold up? It's going to kind of give us a guide if this sector does get some momentum. RYOJ, of course. Let's look at this one closer too. No news on it. Gap from yesterday. This is probably seed oil related. Not. It is not. It's a consulting services company from Japan. Kind of a bizarre one. Looks like it's a pump. All right. LGCB, another one. Wow, look at that. Amazing. What is this thing? LGCB. Internet retail from Japan. Why are these Japan stocks popping? Consumer, e-commerce, operations in Japan, Hong Kong, mainland China. Okay. Why are these Japan stocks popping right now? Let me see if Grok knows. Ask my assistant. Why Japan stocks popping? See if it knows anything. Pro-stimulus political shift boosting investor confidence. Oh. They elected somebody as Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party leader on October 4th, and they're doing stimulus. Japan is doing stimulus. We know what happened when the US did stimulus. Yeah, that gave us 2020. The 2020 market was insane. What else? Maybe that's all there is. I'll have to look into that closer later, but it's interesting to see the Japan trend right now. Pretty clear. See, now if we were starting earlier in the day, this one would have been a trade. That's okay. Maybe tomorrow. Mañana. All right. This is already up and down, so we're not even going to bother with it. SCNX. Another one. What do we got here? SCNX. Becomes first FDA approved, ready to use liquid something available through major US wholesalers. What is this? Losartan? So they got something going on. It's probably trash. Hopefully they do good with it. But it's probably trash. Let's see. What is it, though? I don't even know what this means. Okay, we announced today this drug now commercially available through full line wholesalers nationwide. It's in, what is this? Some kind of, which is prescribed for the treatment of high blood pressure. There it is. That's all I wanted to know. What does it do? The very last phrase told me what it does. All right, cool. Let's take a look at that one. SCNX. We're getting a lot this morning. We're not going to be able to get through them all, maybe. Got 18 million float. Ooh. Okay, that's old. They did have a September ATM. August shelf offering. Wow. A lot of potential dilution coming up as usual. Okay, the stock trade's great. This is what we like to see. See that? We're popping up right into that resistance level, right over it a little bit. Where's the next one? Way up here, $3. We'll try it. We're gonna try it. Okay, there's a lot to watch this morning. I gotta get rid of some stuff. S dot. Now, if you want a textbook fader example, there you go. Beautiful, clean, best case scenario. Give me more of these. All right. Wow, okay, Mira. We got VIVK on. So many. This one's a gap up short. The news is $40 million credit facility. Signed a non-binding term sheet with an undisclosed wholesaler to create a $40 million commodity intermediation credit facility to support crude oil trading operations. So are they getting credit to buy crude oil? Is that what's happening? Somebody let me know. We're shorting that one. All right, CNX. It's interesting to see what's popping these stocks. I gotta pay attention to this Japan situation. Okay, this one's not Japan. We have several Japan stocks though, which is fascinating. VIVK. Nope. Mira. I don't think Mira is. Yeah, no, just a couple. There's a handful of them. SOND. Another one. Launching its net terms program, whatever that means. Oh, 30-day net. They're doing 30-day net. Enables corporate travelers to pay for hotel services on 30-day net terms with consolidated VAT-compliant invoicing. Interesting. So this is for companies that do traveling. They can pay for their employees to travel on 30-day net. So that's cool. Okay. That's probably good enough. Quite a bit going on today. All right, rare earth. This is one of those sectors that is probably going to keep going for a while. TMQ, this was one of them recently. See, we had this news pop over here on the 7th, and then we held up sideways for quite a while. Quite a while there. Very tight range. And then it had this run off of that. So the question is going to be here, is it going to keep going on TMQ? And pull up that news again on the 7th. I think Trump bought some TMQ with the government money. Copper dominant mining districts. Trump admin now holds a stake in 5 public companies. Intel, MP, LAC, and more. Wow, LAC. Amazing that. One of our Discord members was in LAC early. Pretty incredible call out. So what's the speculation with TMQ? It's one of these rare earth companies. Is anything actually going to happen, though, is the question. We got to pay attention here. We have 1 minute to the bell. 10:14, is there any news? It's just probably running on speculation. I don't see any solid news here. But since Trump's buying the stock market with the government, anything's possible. All right, let's focus up here. 30 seconds to the bell. Gonna stop yapping so much. Prax is a really interesting sector leader, new sector leader in biotechs. Pretty incredible. We had seed oils, soybeans yesterday, rare earth before that. Now we have potentially biotech popping. All right, let's see what happens here today. Good luck, everybody. Gonna check in on my swing trades too. Lot going on. Lot going on. I suspect Nike is going to be a really nice trade. Some sort of deal with Z coming up. Plus with the whole shakeup. From Friday, threatening another 100% tariff on China, and then immediately backtracking over the weekend. You don't know what I'm gonna do. So I do have Nike long at 67.33. Just using our classic trend break setup, entry setup. Show this really quick. This is nice. This is really the, this is something to learn, because even if you can't follow the market too close, this is something that you can do to swing trade and really just position for investments also. So we got Nike here, obviously been on a pretty massive downtrend with the tariff situation, but there is a bottom somewhere. And we know the politicians bought in right here in the 50s, perfectly on the bottom, that they like to do that. The politicians know where the bottom is usually. A lot of times they do. So now we don't know if they flip it here. Usually these people are going to be in for longer term trades. They're not just swing trading, they're in for years if they're going to get in. And no better place to get in than the bottom. So there you go. Possible bottom here in the 50s. Politicians are in. Now we have a trend break over here, a couple of them. So we had the shakeup over the weekend right here on, was this the 10th? Trump said maybe 100% tariff on China on Friday. And pretty much backtrapped immediately over the weekend. And then so Nike dipped really hard, and then now it's coming back up. But we have a trend break. So the trend breaks are usually key to these things. And this one looks pretty clean right here. So we got in on that break, 67.30. Just hit it on the trend break. It pulled back the next day a little bit, bounces back up. Now, who knows what's going to do from here? Ideally, it holds up, maybe consolidates sideways. We just want it to eventually make its way back up towards the 80s or the 100 area, which is super, super possible over the next several months. Now, this one's going to be probably super crowded. PRAX. Wouldn't be surprised at all if this one ends up squeezing some. It's already traded $400 million on the day. Pretty incredible. Just taking a partial win here on SCNX. Unity dipping a little bit. It had a pretty nice run though. $24 up to 45, 46. Let's check in on Jimmy. I mean, it's kind of at the base, flagging sideways a bit. Got a nice little trend break on it. It's kind of chilling out. And the 23s, yeah, as we've seen before, it can take quite a while before it actually does anything. And now we have those warrants at 32 bucks a share. So if it ever goes above 32, this is going to get beaten back down, which is what Ryan Cohen did anyways with the offerings. Those expired in 1 year. So probably, there's no real incentive to have this go above 32 for a year. And it's kind of following the blueprint as expected. GameStop. Pull up Jimmy over here. So there we go. There's the blueprint. It's simply round 2. This is from last time this ran. It's kind of just doing exactly what happened last time. Same difference. Lower highs. Fading off into the abyss. Until the cat comes back to pump it again. And it'll probably continue like this until GameStop does something significant to increase their earnings. But that last prophecy was fulfilled. We got the gap fill right there for the most part. I mean, it got 95% of the way there. Call it good enough. And it's right back down. Pretty amazing, actually. Pretty amazing that it did that. That was the play. So it's back down to the baseline. Is it going to continue popping? Maybe. Is it going to fade back? Maybe. And there's a nice trend line right here too. This trend line cannot break. If it breaks, then this is going to drop probably to 20 bucks, I would guess. If it goes sub 20, it's probably a good buy. It's a good buy into the trend line unless the trend line breaks. It has been bouncing off of that trend line pretty consistently. And it's back to it again. Let's see, we have the legend over here. Let me pull this guy up. This is pretty interesting if for GameStop people. Richard Newton. Okay, he made a video about GameStop every single day for years. And he deleted his channel. But he left this last guess for what he thinks is going to happen with the stock. And the last move pretty much was, has played out. So that would have been, let's see. Yeah, right over here. So we got the gap fill. That was in the forecast. So we got the gap fill. That did happen. That may have happened a little earlier than this prediction says, but after a pullback to the trend line again, the next idea is it's going to bounce again, maybe bigger, maybe about the same. Hard to say for sure, but he had this coming down into December, but we're already back down. We're already back down. I think this is that trend line that's got to hold up. It is critical. Tilray probably going to break down. It is holding up a base, though, pretty nicely still. $1.60 is the level that has to hold. If it cracks that level, is probably GG. Probably good game. Well played. Better luck next time. We got several nice trades on this on the way up, so super happy with that. Locking some of these lesser trades in. Pretty happy with that so far. Locked in 150. Unrealized up 100 right now. Still looking for this quantum short setup. Keeps just grinding higher. Let's see here. Rigetti. Oh, man. I'd say it's almost there. It is pretty much there. Looking for that trend break. So really it's just testing this trend again. Hasn't broken yet. I really hesitate to jump in front of it too soon. I don't need to top ticket. I just need to get in on the backside. So it's testing this trend line again. I think the whole tariff situation shook everything up because we had that right there on Friday, dropped the whole market. Back on Monday, we flipped. No more tariffs for now, at least. So everything popped. So that might be the blow off top we needed. Let's check in on UNH. UNH hanging out. We had another trade on this one. On that trend break right there. Again, you'll see I like trend breaks. It was a nice swing. We got it at 350. Sold it at 370. Because the gap fill, obviously. The gap fill. It's always the gap fill. The prophecy must be fulfilled. Now there's another gap up here. Up to 580. But it could take some time. It's probably going to pull back now, I guess. Etsy, pretty incredible one. So we had this one right around 55. Sold it into the high 60s, 70s. Oh, Pfizer. Now Pfizer's kind of set up. Pfizer's getting there. See, this one is almost ready. Never need to be early on these, but I would like to be in under 25. Pretty clean trend. Okay, again, Pfizer was talking with Trump at the White House, and that's what caused this pop. They're talking about regulating the prices, stop gouging the American people. And then it popped for a couple days there, and now it came right back. So, pretty telling though that this could be about ready to move. If you see it popping like that, it doesn't take much. Plus it's on the other side of this bigger trend break. Really wouldn't be surprised if it's time to start loading in some Pfizer. Let's check the IO. Decent. I mean, institutional ownership not going down. So, I mean, a little bit, but it's kind of trending maybe up a little bit too. It's a pretty nice pullback. Might be about time. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait. I'm not super convinced yet. Maybe check on it tomorrow. Maybe start nibbling a little bit on it. This could always retest this trend line. Go back to 23. Still. We'll say I want to be in an under 26, under 25.50 for sure. Yeah, under 25.50 would be fine. No need to catch the knife. PRAX going higher. Decent looking long on NVA right here. This is one of those rare earth stocks. These do have potential to go nuts. NVA. Nova Minerals, Australia. $6 million float. Oracle looking kind of good. All right, let me check some Mergetti puts. All right, so we want let me check it over here. Yeah, this is about ready to short. Still hasn't broken the trend yet. Not quite. Not quite yet. Don't want to be early. They could bounce off of that. Push into the 60s, no problem. Oh yeah, Prax is going up higher. Nice. Lock in that VIVK one, smaller trade on that one. Alrighty, I think I'm going to call it there. Got a couple left on. Locked in most of it. Pretty good day so far. Hopefully these last two play out like I'm thinking. But we locked in 170, 100 unrealized at the moment. So we'll see how those play out. I'll put some updates out in Discord later. Good luck, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.